Good morning. Welcome to Meditation Lesson 3, Video 14. So this is, once again, this video is from the homework portion of the third lesson. And the ball that we're going to run with is illness. Now, normally, what we do during the 4 contemplations of the compassion portion is we take the first 2 contemplations and we use it in a self-centered manner. Then we use it as a launching pad, a jumping board, a trampoline that takes us into universal compassion. Well, instead of doing it that way, which is the standard way, and it works very, very fine, one of my students recently wrote me and told me that she's terribly sick with laryngitis and that she's on a course of antibiotics. And the other day she was quite feverish and she's having a rather tough time of it. So what I'm going to do today is, instead of using the selfish portion for myself, I'm going to use the selfish portion for another individual. And you could say, well, how's that going to harness our selfishness and turn it into universal compassion? Simple. One of the late teachers of the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet, his name was Dilgo Khyentse, and he taught that when someone compliments those who are close to us and we feel inordinately pleased, it is because on some deep level we feel that we own them. So, good or bad, right or wrong, it's a human tendency. And so rather than, being like the proverbial ostrich and sticking our head in the sand or going, la 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 la, I have no inappropriate thoughts, because that's just malarkey. What we're going to do is put a bit in the mouth and a bridle over the head of our inappropriate thoughts and use our selfishness to make us something more, to make us truly men and women of great compassion. So, acknowledging, if there's someone in your life, a friend or a relative, you feel even a little sentimentality for, we're going to use that. So this week, or I should say this day, work with me, join with me, and just pretending that one of your fellow students is named Pat, and just pretending that you give a shit about her well-being. Even if you don't, that's okay. Pretending and acting, not so you can fake anybody out, but just so you can use it as an emotional and intellectual exercise, could be profoundly productive. So let's get right to it. Now, I got to go through it. I got to explain it at the beginning of every video. Here's the deal. This series of 52 lessons is a commentary on the various practice texts that I give my students in their 1-year course. So this won't make any sense unless you're looking at the latest version of the free PDF entitled The First Set of Lesson Texts. So what you want to do is check out the links below this video. What's that? You say you don't see any links below the video? Easy solution. Draw your attention to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. You'll notice a little YouTube icon. Give that bad boy a click or two, and you'll be taken to YouTube's dedicated page for this video. About an inch below the view screen, you'll see a button that reads Show More. Give that bad boy a click, and soon you'll see a list of links as long as my arm. The first link, let's take you to one of my Facebook pages that you can like. The third link, I'm going to take it back. The second link takes you to a page on my website that actually lists, has these vertical columns. The first column says the first lesson, the second column has the second lesson, the third column has the third lesson. It's all the videos of the third lesson. And below that's a box with all the other pages. The page 1, which has the first, second, and third lessons. Page 2, which has the 4th, 5th, and 6th lessons, and so on and so forth. If this is your first time watching my talking head, then you're way behind. Go back to lesson 1, watch the first video of the first lesson, let that percolate overnight, and the next day watch the second video of the first lesson, and so forth and so on. Give yourself time to get caught up. It's better to take your time and do it right than jump in and not have a clue and then start guessing and assuming and just painting yourself into a corner. No one wants that. Now, what's that? You say you're too spiritual to start from the beginning? Well, if you're that spiritual, then humility will be second nature for you. If it's not, then you may not be as spiritual as you think you are. Oh! Yeah! I said it. Burn! Okay. So put me on pause. Download. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Whoops. Okay. The third link below this video will take you to a page on my site called First Quarter Class Materials. The first 3 items on that page are free. There's a great essay I want you to download and read. There's a cool image of Chenrezig, Zig, very similar to this. You can download and print out. I recommend. And there is a link you can use to download the free version of the PDF for the first set of lesson texts. Get your hands on that. Okay, put me on pause, download what you got to do, come on back, let's hit it. Oh, won't you please join me on page 46 of the practice text. Now, sometimes, in some versions of this PDF, the page numbering, can get a bit wonky. So what you'll want to do, you'll know you're on the right page if the heading reads Chenrezig's Intellectual and Mystic Paths to Enlightenment. Below that it says Verbal Only, Compassion, and Tumo Yoga's Naval Electives. Now, if you don't know who Chenrezig is, then you haven't watched all the videos that came before this one. Busted! Okay! So, page 46, these are our psychological warm-ups. So let's sit properly. Let's not slouch back in our chair like Homer Simpson, second on a beer and watching TV. Let's sit upright with our head over our shoulders over our tush, our feet touching the floor. All right, hands in the lap. How long breath? Releasing. If you don't know what's going on here, go back and watch the instructional videos. How long breath? Releasing. Okay, let's do some concise alternate nostril breathing in through left, out through right. In through right, out through left. In through both, out through both. Please join me on page 47. Let's chant the prayer of compassion using the triplet chant. Allow me to remind you to cup your palms, press them together at the upper third of your chest. May everyone be happy, may everyone be free from misery. May no one ever be separated from their happiness. May everyone have balance, free from greed, hatred, and confusion. That all beings may benefit, O mani padme hum. Okay. page 48. Okay, it should read at the very top, Lam's intellectual path to a Buddha's spiritual mastery. Mastery of what? Why, it's the mastery of wisdom, peace, love, and joy. I don't care how many bows you do, how many offerings you make, or how many hours you persist in meditation. If you're a cranky bastard, you done missed the boat. The test of the teachings is not how old, crusty, and dusty they are. It's not how popular they are. It's not how much they appeal to your intellect or your intuition. The only test of the teachings, my friend, are the results they generate in your mind, in your emotions, in your body, and in your life. Water. So, as promised, we're going to work on Pat. You may know Pat and love her dearly. Pat may be just an intellectual object, but I invite you to pretend that you have a fellow student who's also practicing Buddha's teachings, and her name is Pat, and she's feeling ill, and we don't want her to feel ill. We want to take away her illness, for that is the essence of compassion. The first exercise on page 48 is selfish aversion's logic. It's a contemplation or analysis exercise. You say, how could this be selfish? We're dealing with Pat. Well, because number one, we're dealing with this one person instead of the infinity of humanity. No less the infinite expanse of all living beings. And number two, because if we're pretending that she's a fellow student, then on some level we feel we own her. Oh yeah, take that, 13th Amendment. The ghost of Abraham Lincoln's going to beat me up for that joke. But anyway, so we're going to now capitalize on our selfishness and pettiness and use that to hopscotch across the pond or across the creek to the shore of universal compassion. Here we go. Why could I long to free Pat from the tyranny of illness and its causes? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Do yourself a favor. Give yourself permission to sport a subtle Mona Lisa smile when you chant. You'll feel more joy that way. Second exercise on page 48. Selfish aversion's will. Now this is a concentration or a focus exercise. May Pat be freed from the tyranny of illness and its causes right now. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, page 49. And we're going to take that momentum, that petty momentum, and turn it into a magnanimous momentum. Just like taking a closed umbrella and opening it up. Why could I long to free everyone from the tyranny of illness and its causes? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Our fourth and final exercise of this set, Universal Compassion's Will, which is the concentration or focus exercise. May everyone be freed from the tyranny of illness and its causes right now. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Excellent. Please join me now on page 50 as we perform a preliminary practice to the wisdom portion of this practice. You'll know you're on the right page because it reads at the very top from Tyler Dewar's translation of Tong Tong Gyalpo's The All-Pervading Benefit of Beings, adapted by Lama Jigme Gyatso. And below that it reads in big print, The Passive Visualization of the Great Compassionate One. If you do not know the difference between active visualization and passive visualization, then you're skipping ahead. Go back to lesson 1. Go back to lesson 1, video 1, and take your time, you big old goofball. Okay. Now that we've knocked those heads together, first join me in chanting the text, the quatrains on page 50 and 51. An arm's length above my head, and those of all other sentient beings pervading space, on a white lotus and full moon cushion from Rio appears noble and supreme and rosig. He is brilliant white and radiates the 6 lights of white, green, yellow, blue, red, and black. Handsome and smiling, he looks on all with kind eyes of compassion. Page 51. He has 4 hands, the inner 2 are joined in Anjali, the outer 2 hold a crystal mala and a white lotus flower, adorned with ornaments of silks and jewels, the shoulder covered by a skin. Amitabha hovers above his head, his 2 feet are in the lotus posture. His back rests against a beautiful stainless moon throne. He is the embodiment of all objects of Buddhist refuge. Om Mani Padme Hum, Potala rebirth for me. Om Mani Padme Hum, Potala rebirth for all. Om Mani Padme Hum, completely letting go. Now it's time for the Easter Bunny. Anyone who's ever seen Steel Magnolias should get that reference. Okay, at page 52. Let's now use the wisdom exercises to deconstruct Pat's experience of illness. Now you could say that reminds me of, I guess, the first 15 or 30 minutes of Star Wars: A New Hope, when an unfortunate admiral says, "Lord Vader, your sorcerous ways and ancient superstitions have not helped you to locate this missing plans of the rebel base." To which Vader says, "I find your lack of faith disturbing." Don't worry, I'm not going to use the dark side of the Force to choke anybody. Well, at least not yet. But you could say, "Hey, Lama Jigme, why should we believe that our mumbling of mantras can affect someone's health?" And the answer is, quite frankly, don't believe. Belief is a trap. Now, it can be a useful and empowering idea to imagine what it could be like if we could use our universal interconnection to actually benefit someone, if not overtly, then at least subtly. Even if we were impotent, even if we could not affect someone, still investing our emotions and our mind in wishing them well, wishing them compassion's freedom from illness and its causes, and then taking that mental construct and chipping away at it like a mouse at a piece of cheese, that will help build our wisdom, the wisdom of letting go. How fun is that? So let's play with this right now. Page 52. What illness is Pat now experiencing? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. And by the way, I was just paraphrasing Star Wars, so my fellow nerds, if I did not quote Lord Vader correctly, please resist the urge to download in your pants. Okay, exercise 2 on page 52. How could Pat's illness and its causes not satisfy? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Remember, these are rhetorical questions. These are lazy bastard questions. It's not our job to answer these questions. It's our job to ask these questions silently and mentally on the in-breath, and then relax as we verbally recite the 6-syllable mantra. If you are not already familiar with the use of assumptive, rhetorical, mantra-empowered questions, then please go back to the videos of the first lesson. Okay. Exercise 3, page 52. How could Pat's illness and its causes not be permanent? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Exercise 4. How could Pat's illness and its causes not be Pat's? P-A-T''S. Let's rephrase it. I take it back. Remove the apostrophe S. How could Pat's illness and its causes not be Pat? Yes. Could Pat be much more than the sum of her physical maladies? Ooh. Okay. How could this illness and its causes not be Pat? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Pardon. Page 53. How could this illness and its causes not be Pat's? And this time it's P-A-T''S. That's right, folks. We're going to explore how could this illness not be Pat's treasured possession. Of course, when I think of treasured possession, I think of Gollum and the ring. You know, he's sitting there going, my precious, my precious. We are kind of like that with our sufferings at times. If not consciously, then at least subconsciously. How could this illness and its causes not be Pat's? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. You might say, hey man, this stuff's too easy. But I've seen it work. I've seen it work on AIDS victims. I've seen this work on premature infants. This stuff works. You don't have to believe it. Just entertain the possibility. Pardon. Exercise 2 on page 53. How could Pat's illness and its causes not be graspable? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Exercise 3. How could Pat benefit from letting go of her illness and its causes right now? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. What could completely letting go of Pat's illness and its causes look like? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. What could completely letting go of Pat's illness and its causes sound like? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. What could completely letting go of Pat's illness and its causes feel like? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Please join me now on page 54. Why could I let go of Pat's illness and its causes right now? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. One moment, I must adjust the window. Exercise 2. Why would I let go of Pat's illness and its causes right now? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 54. Exercise 3. When will I let go of Pat's illness and its causes? Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, the fourth exercise is complete letting go, and no, this isn't an affirmation, it's an intention. Completely letting go. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Please turn with me now. Page 55. Well, we began with Lama Rim's intellectual path to a Buddha's spiritual mastery. 55 takes us to the second half of our practice, Chog Chen's mystic path to an arhat's spiritual resiliency. In Tibet, there are two types of practitioners. For argument's sake, there were the people who focused on the scholarly aspect of Buddhism, and then there were people focused on the yogic aspect of Buddhism. Of course, the people who progressed the fastest on the path were those who practiced both sides of Buddhism simultaneously, both the intellectual as well as the mystic paths. I'm thinking of the Gelug tradition. First they send their monks to Sutric college, then they send their monks to a Tantric college. But here's the funny thing, most of them every year would do at least a 2-week to 1 month retreat on a Tantric practice, even when they were going to Sutric college. So that's kind of where it breaks down. But anywho, let's continue. Page 55. We're going to now play with the Mahamudra of bliss and letting go. First, how long breath, releasing. But hey, we did this at the beginning. Why are we doing this again? Because all that chanting was very, very coarse. And now we're going to go into some very, very subtle areas. So we are recentering again, and hey, it couldn't hurt you. Below that it says extensive alternate nostril breathing. That begins just like the concise one did. In through left, out through right. In through right, out through left. In through both, out through both. Page 56. Left, right. Right, left. Both. Left, right. Right, left. Both. If this has left you at all turned around and confused, then go back and rewatch the videos of the second lesson. Please join me now on page 57. We begin with reverse breathing. Quick reminder, that's when we squeeze tight our anus, urethra, and vaginal orifice while gently pulling in our mid-abdomen during each in-breath and then relaxing them during each out-breath. Unless you're a man, then you're squeezing tight your anus, urethra, and perineum, as well as pulling in the mid-abdomen during every in-breath, and then relaxing all four of them during each out-breath. If this is at all confusing, then go back and rewatch the instructional videos of the first half of Lesson 3. Or I should say the first half of the Lesson 3 collection of videos. Nave, remember, nave is short for navel. Where nave wheel, releasing. Yes, I practice sexual tantra, and yes, even though sexual tantra is not the main purpose of this exercise, sexual tantra is benefited by practicing this exercise, for this is the Buddhist version of Kegels. Where nave so, releasing. If you do not know or remember what a bija mantra is, then go back and rewatch the first lesson collection of videos. Where so flame, releasing. So free. Please join me on page 58. So flame stretch, out left soul. So flame stretch, out right soul. So flame stretch, up to heart. So flame stretch, out left palm. So flame stretch, out right palm. Please turn with me now to page 59. So flame stretch, up to throat. So flame stretch, up to crown. So flame stretch, out through brow. Brow drop climb. Up. Actually, we're going to take a moment here. Remind you, we now set aside the reverse breathing. We relax the three lower doors. We relax the abdomen. Let everything relax and tighten spontaneously and automatically. Brow drop climbs up to crown. Please join me now on page 60. Where crown wheel, releasing. Where crown Om, releasing. Om, free. Please join me now on page 61 as we practice the Mahamudra of awareness and letting go. Page 61, all the exercises on page 61 follow the three-syllable paradigm. In the Anapanasati Sutta, Buddha taught we notice when the breath is long and we notice when the breath is short. We do not contrive them, we do not control them, we are simply aware. The three-syllable paradigm is perfect for when your breath is long. And the one-syllable paradigm that follows is perfect for when your breath is short. What's seeing, really seeing, we do not try to see anything, we just notice what's going on in our visual mind. What hearing, releasing. What planning, releasing. What feeling releasing? How could this be funny? Noticing, relaxing. Please join me now on page 62 for the one-syllable pair version of awareness and letting go. See free. Even though your eyes are closed, your brain still produces signs. Sometimes hallucinatory, sometimes recollection, sometimes imagination. Here, free. Remember, we're not pushing away what we notice. We're just relax or grasp on it. Here, free. Think free. Feel free. Fun free. Exploring how something could be funny, fun for short. It's a great way to lighten up and not take our suffering or ourselves too seriously. This ease. Many, many years ago, when I traversed hill and dale to receive the pointing out instructions from Bakatuku, I was very frustrated because I was used to the complex contemplations of the Madhyamaka. He explained to me the essence of the Dzogchen approach to the wisdom exercises was simply to relax. And boy, did it blow my little furry mind. Please jump ahead 2 pages to page 64. And now, you'll notice that there are blue links on this page to take you to videos to help you practice untying the heart's knots, bodhicitta's essence, concise Manipa's heart, and the personal prayer. Now, if you have any questions or any difficulties, that's what you want to hit. However, right now, let's practice together. So please minimize your PDF so you can watch my silly face on your computer screen. Woof! Oh boy, here we go. I'm going to move the Tonka out of the way so I don't knock it down, because that would kind of suck. Now, earlier in the practice, we chanted the Compassion Prayer. What I like to do first thing in the morning is chant or actually simply recite the Compassion Prayer while I'm performing Surya Namaskar B, also known as Sun Salutation version B. It's popularized by Ashtanga Vinyasa. So I'm going to walk you through that right now. If you're not familiar with Ashtanga Vinyasa or Sun Salutations, you can look them up on YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to just do this for you quickly. I'm not a yoga professional. I'm just a monk. So first, the run-through. Squatting. Downward facing. I take that back. Standing forward bend. Standing arch. Staff pose. Upward dog, downward dog. With the left foot step forward into exalted warrior. Staff pose. Upward dog, downward dog. Step forward with the right foot into exalted warrior. Swing forward into staff pose. Up dog, down dog, jump forward into standing arch, I'm sorry, standing forward bend, my mistake, standing arch, standing forward bend, that's better. Now, squat. And then close the pose. Okay. If you're not already familiar with that, get familiar with that. If you are familiar with it, we can pray. Or actually just express our intention, our compassion intention. That's a better translation of the word. May everyone be happy. May everyone be free from misery. May no one ever be separated from their happiness. May everyone have balance. Free from greed, hatred, and confusion. That all beings may benefit. Om Mani Padme Hum. Pretty fun, huh, kids? Okay. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. But is it fun? Yeah, sure, you betcha. Okay. Let's perform this, the untying of the heart's knots. Please sit erect. Please place your hands behind your tuchus. Please open your chest. Please twist to the left. Please twist to the right. Now to each give wisdom. Back to center. Release the hands, clasp them in your lap, swing them out and overhead, and bend to the left. Why give peace? Releasing. Please reverse. Now to each give great peace. Because the wisdom of letting go gives birth to peace in our hearts. Let's make our way into downward facing fetal position. This is also known as child's pose. Why give love? Releasing. Form hands in the fists. Place the fists in front of the knees. Press the fists into the yoga blanket. Make your way into the seated samurai position, also known as lion's pose. Please place your hands behind your tuchus, your tush, your ass, your derriere. One of my students is in love with Gladiator, and so I can't say gluteus maximus without thinking about the movie Gladiator now. Okay, so drop the head, roll the eyes up, gaze through the eyebrows towards the ceiling. What seeing? Releasing. What hearing? Releasing. What feeling? Releasing. How could this be funny? Please release the hands. Please cup the palms, bring them together at the upper third of the chest. Please relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Please twist to the left. Why give joy? Releasing. Back to center, release your shoulders down. Remember, it's love that gives birth to joy. Please twist to the right. Now to each, give great joy. Back to center. Let's make our way into the hands and knees position in preparation for the cat-cow asana. Jaw open, hanging slack. Now to each, give comfort. Let's stand up for one moment. I have to close the window. Because you never want a cold breeze on the small of your back when doing yoga. Okay, let's stand up. Let's put our weight on the balls of our feet, our hips thrust forward, our hands laced behind our tush, our chest open, our head dropped, our eyes rolled up. Let's gaze through our eyebrows towards the ceiling, noticing, relaxing. Okay. Let's perform Indian Inspire 12 Phase Sun Salutation for 2 repetitions. By this virtue may I now accomplish the spontaneous, habitual, easy, and effective mastery of Buddha's mental yogas, of devotion, awareness, love, and letting go, and now lead every living being, without exception, to this ground. May everyone be healthy, wealthy, and happy. May everyone practice skillfully and joyfully. Accomplished music in this life, and then help many others do likewise. For truly that is the meaning of life. Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, let's perform 2 repetitions of Vietnamese inspired bows. May I always be cared for throughout all my lives by the Buddha of compassion emanating as my kind teacher. And as such may I always enthusiastically and joyfully tread this excellent path praised by the conquerors. Whew! Okay, my friends, let's conclude with what I like to call the 3-couplet prayer. You'll recall the 3-couplet prayer from the Potala practice, introduced to you in the second set in the second lesson collection of videos. I'm going to say a line, recite a line, and you repeat it back. It's called call and response. Let's do this right now for Patricia, our fellow student, and her health. Repeat after me. Om Mani Padme Hum. Perfect health for Patricia. Om Mani Padme Hum. Perfect health for all. Om Mani Padme Hum. Completely letting go. Thank you very much for helping me to send blessings to our friend Pat. I wish to thank you for your time and your kind attention and for your enthusiasm to be the happy camper that you were born to be, no less the fully enlightened Buddha. So, may you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Before we go, allow me to remind you to click the thumbs up like button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. By clicking that, it should reveal 3 social networking share buttons. Please click those. And most importantly, if you have not already, in the upper right hand corner, please find the please find the subscribe button up in the upper right hand corner. Give that a click. After I've said goodbye, please find the YouTube button also beyond the upper right hand corner. That'll take you to the home page. In the bottom left hand, or towards 3/4 of the way down on the left hand side, you'll find a tab that reads Manage Subscriptions. Click that and look up Lama Jigme. And when you do, click the box to the right, and thereby you will receive email notifications every time I upload a video. Pretty cool, eh? When does the Saturday morning series of weekly webinars begin? March 2nd. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.